Do you also see all those young Ferrari driving teens on Instagram and wonder how they did this? Do you sometimes wish that you would have the same motivation as they have or the same discipline as they have? Well, here's the truth. Motivation is a scam. It's like a sugar rush. You have this great idea about a brand new website construct, or you finally found a thing you're passionate about and will earn you money, and you put in 2 weeks of pure effort, day and night. You start to plan, you start to organize, and then just boom, the motivation is gone. It's just floats away, like a dream you've just had, but you woke up, and the more you think about it, the more you lose it. Just flies away. And that, my friend, will never change until you change. Because what you're chasing is not motivation. What you are chasing is discipline. Discipline is when you choose to stand in front of the man in your mirror, look him in the eyes, and take control over his actions. You know, a wise man, a really wise man once told me, and I've been living like this since, that you should profile the dream version of yourself. His actions, his reactions on some things, his behavior on just everyday things. You profile that man, the dream version of yourself, who you want to be. You know, you write it down like this. Yeah, this is me, Tom, and I want no binge watching, exercise daily, no binge eating or snacking, focusing on business, use spare time meaningful, and more social engagement. You know, I give you an example. Yeah, just to read it out for you. Yeah, the perfect version of me, Tom, doesn't watch YouTube gaming stuff all the time. The perfect version of me takes his health, his food intake, and his training more serious. The perfect version of me structures his days and priorities. The perfect version of me is curious and wants to learn new things every day. And now, looking at all of this, there's just one simple question left. Why am I not doing these things? Why am I not doing these things? Why am I still sitting in front of brain-melting YouTube videos? Or why am I still eating sugary snacks like this stuff? I'm just eating them. I mean, that's not mine, to be honest, that's from my girlfriend, but still, stuff like this. I'm still eating stuff like this, but I know that I want to quit, but I just don't quit, and I just go on with making all those bad decisions. But deep inside me, I don't want to do this. Deep inside me, I know that this is bad for me, and it will make me feel bad in the end of the day. The answer to why I'm still doing all those things is discipline. I know how I want to live, and I know what to do to live like how I want to live, but I just don't have the balls to live like that, and you don't have the balls too. And you know why? Because it's hard as shit. Every day, every hour, every minute, you have to fight against yourself. You have to fight against the devil inside you. When the devil lets hell break loose in your soul, he will lure you with motivation. Let's hear it again. When the devil lets hell break loose in your soul, he will lure you with motivation. And I think that's a saying that really goes deep. It really goes deep when you think about it. You know, he will build the devil inside you. He will build your self-esteem, your courage, till the point where you feel just unstoppable. And then he drops you. He just drops you. All of these good thoughts, he just lets them go. And with that, he lets you fall into a deeper hole every time. Every time in a deeper hole, again and again and again. And he won't stop until you give yourself up and he gets you in the hell of living a life without perspective and without hope. That is hell, my friends. And the only way that you can really come out of this is the way I'm gonna show you today. First, like I mentioned already, you have to profile the version of yourself that you want to be. Maybe you want to quit porn, or you want to finally stop binge eating. You want to be more social active. You want to call your mother more often. You want to call your friends more often. Anything and everything you can think about, write it down. The more the better. And I'm gonna talk through my profile with you. So, the first thing on the list is no binge watching, because I'm catching myself watching just stupid YouTube videos for hours, even through the night, when I know I could have slept at 10 o'clock, but it's now 2 in the morning. And I'm still watching the same YouTube videos that are not giving me anything from worth. The next, exercise daily. I've had 2 disc hernias back in April, so 4 months ago. And since then I didn't really do any kind of sport. Before that I was actively going into the gym, but at the moment I didn't do any sport for about 4 months now. And I just want to change that, because there are many exercises that will even improve my back health, but I just didn't do any of that for the past 4 months. Why? Next is no binge eating or snacking. It's bad for you. It will spike your dopamine and your blood sugar levels, and that's just not good for you. Everybody knows that. I want to be focused on my businesses. I don't know, before puberty, I already knew that I want to be an entrepreneur one day. The next is that I want to use my spare time meaningful. That means I want to learn stuff. I want to get better at speaking English. You know, right now I am speaking kind of basic level English. I want to get better at this. I just want to learn things, get better in maths, get better in German, in my mother language, just things like this, or learn some programming, video editing, animating. I just want to learn something and not just be binge watching all the time. And the last thing that is quite important, I want to be more social engaging, because I'm a really introverted person and I really just need to change that, because my friends are always inviting me. I never invite them, never. Not because I don't want to invite them, but I just don't think about it. I just don't have the thoughts of inviting my friends over. Just doesn't, I don't know. Okay, and you do the same with your dream version. And now, how do we actually use these profiles to get better? Because making them is fairly easy. Besides this profile, you will need one more thing. Bots. And many of them. Because this will be hard. Before doing anything, before making any kind of decision. Read your profile from top to bottom. Everything. What would this version of me do in this situation? And then you make a decision. But when you decide what you're doing in this situation, you have to stick with it. And that's the hard part. You have to stick with it, because your first decision while thinking about this dream version of yourself is the thing you really want. The next things, the next thoughts, the next things you want are things that you don't really want, but those are the voices in your head, the devil in your head, who wants to convince you to get back to his side. But you don't want that. You have to stick with your first decision. You know, you have to show balls, and you have to show yourself and everyone who isn't believing in you that you want this more than anything and anyone will ever do. And after you've stood up for yourself for a while, those voices will eventually go away, and you will actually start living like this. You will start thinking like this, just because you've been implementing this in your life. That's the law of attraction, my friends. I'm sure many of you heard from this already, but the grind will never stop, because you now chose a life of hard mental work. But one day it will finally pay off. Till then, my friends, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I was able to help you. If it is like that, I'd be happy if you subscribe or leave a like on this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one.